All right, welcome in everyone. I'm Vance Ballard with the National Sports Media Association, and joining me today is Detroit Free Press sports writer, Michigan Sports Writer of the Year for the third time in his career, Mick McCabe. Mick, thank you for joining me. How are you today?
I'm just lovely.
Good, happy to hear that. So how long did you know, or I'm sorry, how long have you known, or when did you know that sports journalism was what you wanted to do for your career, that that's what your interest was?
Probably for sure my junior year of high school.
Okay. And for some of our for younger viewers, maybe, did you have any inspirations in the sports journalism field growing up?
Oh yeah. Well, before that, I didn't know what I was going to do. Um, but my junior year, I decided I think this is what I want to do. And basically every decision I made after that was based on how is this going to get me at the Free Press.
Okay. Speaking of getting at the Free Press, tell me more about your journey to where you are now, the path you took, and how you got to the Free Press, like you say.
Well, I started at in Cabrini High School and started writing a sports column my junior year and took on the Monsignor Mayno, who ran the parish. And he said high school football should be abolished. So I wrote a counter to that. He wrote it in the Detroit News, actually. He had a Sunday column in the news. And then later in that school year, our baseball coach left and he didn't replace him and he dropped the baseball program. So I wrote another thing about that, and somebody saw him coming over to the high school with a crinkled up copy of our school newspaper in his hand and heading to the office. I figured, well, I guess I'll be spending my senior year at Allen Park High School. But I didn't, and I graduated from there and then went to Mercy College of Detroit, where I got great deadline experience because the newspaper came out twice a month. So, you know, that was not ideal. But my junior year, well, it was supposed to be my senior year. Between the junior and senior year, I started working at the Free Press. And that summer, part time, and then kept on during the fall. And here I am.
Well, there you have it. So nice journey there. So this is your third Sports Writer of the Year award in your illustrious career there with the Free Press. Can you kind of put into words what it means to still get this kind of representation or this kind of respect from your peers and those also in the industry with you still this long into your career as you've done it so long?
Yeah, it's kind of neat that obviously people appreciate what you do and they read it and I guess they like it. And, that after this is my 55th year, so I guess I haven't dropped the ball. I haven't gone on scholarship, unlike some sports writers around. They get to a point, yeah, I'm on cruise control. I've never been on cruise control. So,
Exactly, and 55 years in the industry would speak a testament to that, not being able to be on cruise control with that kind of career.
yeah,
Speaking of that, now you've been in Michigan or the Detroit area for your entire life. We've mentioned a couple times, 55 years,
yes.
just at the Free Press alone. What impact does that have on your job, just being covering sports in the area that you're from, that you're familiar with
Well,
throughout your life?
it means that I've been, I mean, I don't know the history of everything, but like in 1975 was the first year of the high school football state championship, the playoffs. Well, I've been to every single one, and
Right.
I've been to uh, the basketball state tournament almost every year, the state semis and finals. Some years I went with Michigan State to the NCAA tournament when Izzo had it going there, and but I mean I've been around a lot, and at least for the time being, I still have all or most of my faculties. Depends if you ask my wife or my kids. So I remember a lot of stuff, a lot of history, and I can have a pretty good perspective on things.
Okay. Well, speaking of the kind of history thing, I think when I was doing some research, learning who Mick McCabe was, more about you, I've seen a nickname come up a few times, son of Swami. Is that how it's
Yes,
pronounced?
yes.
Explain a little bit more about that.
Well,
Let's hear it.
first of all, we had I do mostly high school athletics. I've
Right.
done college too, but we had the greatest high school writer ever, Hal Schramm, who was at the Free Press for almost 40 years. And he would predict state tournament games, and so he was known as the Swami. And we worked together for 17 years, and I learned so much from him, and he was just the greatest because I mean we have such an advantage today with the internet and stuff like that. He had none of that, and he would rank teams in football and basketball, and make predictions in basketball. And so when he passed on, they wanted me to continue, uh, the Swami deal, and we made it Son of Swami. So, which was a great tribute for me to be associated with Hal because he was the GOAT, absolutely the GOAT.
Right. Okay. So just, but still, just another thing that speaks to your hard work and the respect that you have from your peers and the readers in the Detroit and Michigan area, tagging you with that illustrious title to carry on
Mhm.
after he was finished with it.
Yes. Yeah, that was I think, yeah, Gene Myers, Dave Robinson, Owen Davis, they were running sports then when Swami passed in 87, and they just said, this is what we want you to do. And so it's worked out pretty well.
Seems that way. Here we are for the third time you receiving this award. Another thing you've mentioned is your impact with, or not impact, but your interest in high school sports within the Michigan
Yes.
area. And I see that the Michigan Miss Basketball for the Michigan Women's Female Player of the Year is named after you. How did that come about, and what does it mean to have that part of
Well,
your
it
legacy?
means a lot because Mr. Basketball in the state of Michigan is the Hal Schramm Mr. Basketball Award. So this is a carryover to the Basketball Coaches Association of Michigan that told me, not asked me, told me they were naming it after me, which I think is another great tribute to Hal too. Um, he's the Swami and Mr. Basketball, Miss Basketball, and it's all the Free Press.
Mhm. Well, I think we've all probably been told a little worse things than that piece of
Yeah.
information there at some point in our lives.
Oh yes. Hmm.
All right. Well, as we begin to kind of wrap things up here, Mick, for young students or maybe people like myself, young professionals who are interested in breaking into this industry or making some sort of career change and becoming involved in sports media in some way, what piece of advice do you have maybe to give them, something you've picked up along your career or just learned throughout your time with the Free Press?
Work as hard as you can and don't say no. Do everything they ask and do a little bit more, and just become such a pest that they can't get rid of you. So I guess I've been a pest and they haven't been able to get rid of me yet, but it's still early.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. The day is young.
Yes. Mhm.
All right. And final question, we'll wrap it up with this. I know you've got a illustrious long 55-year career. Do any features or stories, games, or anything that you've covered, been at in particular, just jump off and pop up at you as maybe like a favorite or most memorable that you have?
Wow. I had a bird's eye view of Irvin Johnson. You know, like he was nicknamed Fred Stavely Jr. nicknamed him Magic when he was a sophomore, and being
Hmm.
able to follow him through high school and then through college too, that was very, very memorable. It's just, I mean, I truly a case could be made for him as the best basketball player ever. I know Magic, LeBron, Wilt Chamberlain, but it's kind of like Bobby Orr, I think. Not Gordie Howe was the greatest hockey player ever because he changed the way the game is played. Well, Irvin changed the way basketball is played. I mean, there
Right.
was never a 6'9" kid grabbing a rebound, taking it up, and being a point guard. That never happened before. And
No.
now, because of Irvin, it's happened a lot. and he was a wonderful kid. There, he was um, a victim, so to speak, of busing back there when they were taking kids out of their neighborhood and sending them to other schools. So they sent him to Lansing Everett. Well, this was a tough time. There were a lot of uh, uh, race problems at other schools in Lansing, but there was never anything at Lansing Everett. And the teachers I spoke with at Everett said that was because of Irvin. He would not allow a black white thing to develop there. They they were all the same, and another reason why he was tremendous.
Right. Well, that's really cool. And Nick, I'm sure you've got stories on stories on stories, and I'll be honest, I could find myself sitting here till March listening to them. That's just the way that I am. But I want to thank you again for joining us today. I know you're a busy man, got a lot going on. So we will let you get going. Again, thank you, Mick. Congratulations on your award. Well deserved. We appreciate your time.
Well, thank you very much.
And you have a great rest of your day.